You know, we're all gonna die. As cliché as that sounds, there's no getting around it. Every single one of us is mortal. But while our personal deaths are inevitable, they're also strangely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. We're just a blip in the timeline of human history, and even that blip is tiny compared to the age of the universe. But there's something else we can say with absolute certainty. Something that applies to all of us on this planet, every living thing. One day the sun will die, and when it does, we will die too. So in today's video, let us talk about exactly what happens when the sun dies and how that will affect not only the Earth, but humanity as a whole. Formed some 4.6 billion years ago, our sun burst into existence when a gigantic cloud of gas and dust collapsed in on itself. This is a process that astronomers have seen repeated over and over again. In fact, it's such a common occurrence that the exact sequence of events is already well understood. Basically, gravity was doing its thing. Like most clouds, this one had a bit of a wobble to it, and gravity caused those wobbles to grow until the entire thing started collapsing. And then as the cloud got smaller, it got denser and hotter. Eventually, the pressure at the center of this ball of space junk became so intense that it forced the atoms to slam into each other. They fused together, creating new elements, and in the process released huge amounts of energy. That energy pushed outward against the inward pull of gravity, and there you have it, a star was born. Our sun is what's called a third-generation star. There were many stars that had to shine and die before the material that makes up our solar system was forged in their cores and then scattered across the galaxy by their explosive deaths. So while the sun is very much the center of our world, it isn't special in any way. It's just a pretty average star. In fact, it's not even in the top half. If you listed all stars by size, our sun would be in the bottom third. It's a small yellow dwarf. The sun is currently in what's known as its main sequence phase of stellar evolution. That means that it's burning hydrogen in its core at a steady rate. And while it's doing this, the sun is completely stable. It'll stay this way for another 5 billion years or so. Then the hydrogen in its core will run out, and here's where things get a little weird. When the sun runs out of hydrogen, its core will begin to contract. The reason why is because there's this really intense energy being produced in the core, and with nothing to push against, that energy has nowhere to go. It builds up and eventually compresses the core of the star. What exactly happens next depends on the mass of the star. Because our sun is a pretty average-sized star, it will contract and expand and repeat that process a few times. First, the sun will become a red giant, expanding outward, swallowing Mercury, Venus, and possibly even Earth. All of the oceans on Earth will boil away. Our atmosphere will be stripped away and the surface of the planet will burn. After that, the sun will continue to contract, shrinking back down to a smaller size. At this stage, it will be intensely hot, maybe as much as 100 times hotter than it is now. It'll emit X-rays and gamma rays instead of visible light. Then it will expand one last time, this time expelling its outer layers and forming what astronomers call a planetary nebula. Don't be fooled by the name. Planetary nebulae have nothing to do with planets. It's just that early astronomers thought the rings of glowing gas looked like the rings of Saturn. After shedding all of its outer layers, the sun will finally settle down, collapsing into a small, dense core known as a white dwarf. The sun will still be incredibly hot at this stage, but since it won't be emitting any light, it'll be impossible to see. Over the next few billion years, the white dwarf will slowly cool off and fade into total darkness. Okay, so that's what will happen to the sun. But when does it actually die? Well, there's no easy answer to that question. Death is a strange concept when applied to stars. You see, it's not like they get sick and die a natural death or anything like that. Stars either run out of fuel and collapse, or they explode in a supernova, which is what most people think of when they hear the word stellar death. Our sun won't do either of those things. Instead, it will simply fade away into obscurity, a lonely white dwarf in a solar system without a planet. But long before the sun dies in this way, it will begin to brighten dramatically. This will happen in the red giant phase. As the sun expands outward, its surface will come much closer to the orbit of the Earth. And while it's getting bigger, it will also start to spin faster. This will make it brighter, and that extra brightness will reach the Earth. In 1 to 2 billion years it will be 10 times brighter than it is now, and in 3 billion years it will be 100 times brighter. At that point, the Earth will be utterly dead. The oceans will boil away and all life on the planet will die. Maybe some kind of extremophile bacteria will survive in the deep ocean, but even that seems unlikely. So if the sun doesn't kill us with its heat, it will kill us with its light. Radiation from the sun will rip apart the ozone layer, which is what protects the Earth from harmful UV rays. If you wanted to survive the death of the sun, you would have to leave Earth many millions of years before it actually happened. Now here's the good news. If humans manage to stick around for another billion or two, we might actually stand a chance of surviving the death of the sun. We could always try to migrate to another star system. In a few million years, technology will advance enough that this will be possible. Maybe we'll terraform Mars or find a nice moon to inhabit, like Europa, the moon of Jupiter, or Enceladus, the moon of Saturn. Both of those moons have vast oceans beneath their icy surfaces. Or maybe we'll build Dyson spheres around other stars, massive megastructures that harness the power of distant suns. We've already mastered the technology to build giant space stations, so why not step it up a notch? Maybe we'll even find another young star that we can migrate to. For now though, the sun is our only source of energy, and chances are we won't have too much trouble surviving the next billion or two. But after that, who knows? Humanity's fate will depend on our ability to become an interstellar species, a civilization capable of traveling to the stars and colonizing new worlds. And yet there's something inexplicably beautiful about the idea of dying with the sun. It's like the finality of it all, the knowledge that one day our star will die and drag us down with it. It makes you wonder if our destiny is written in the stars. So what do you think? Are we doomed to die with the sun, or will humanity become a true interstellar species? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, make sure to leave us a like and subscribe. That way you won't miss any of our future videos, and we've got lots of great ones coming up. This channel is all about exploring the amazing world that surrounds us and the incredible universe we inhabit. Each week we bring you a new video on a variety of topics from astronomy to physics, space travel to technology. If you're curious about the world around you and want to learn more about the amazing discoveries that are being made every day, then be sure to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.